I did not know a single word of English since I was the age of 12 years old. This is gonna sound funny, but the only word I knew that was English, the V word. I'm not gonna go into it. The female V word. My Edo took me to this public school in Kenya, which is Donholm Primary School, and to take tests to evaluate where my education was, and so I can study, based on how good I performed the test. If it was really good, maybe I could start with class 7, class 8, class 6. So I did the test. I think it was the English and math. It was English and math, and my test was so bad that it literally kicked me out of the school. They were like, this kid, he didn't get one question out of a flipping 100 questions. So this kid is so bad, you have to take him somewhere else. Take him to private school. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. We have a very calm setting today. And I'm using a microphone because the audio, there's a fan on, and I don't want to disturb the video. I'll buy a new mic in the near future, inshallah, so we can have a clear audio. I'm gonna try to work on the background and all of that stuff. But anyways, today's video is me talking about how I learned to speak English, even though I was born and raised in Somalia all my life, apart from being in Kenya for 4 years. So there's going to be a chill video. We're just going to lay back. If you're in a hurry, just add this video to your watch list. Come back to it once you're relaxed and you probably have food with you, because I'll try to keep this video as authentic as possible and have less of cuts in the video. It'll be like my introduction to podcast, basically. We're going to start off with self-podcast with one person, only me. Then, I might have guests down the line in the future. If the production gets bigger, if we have more people and more microphones, more professional microphones, we'll have other people in the studio or in my room with me. So, how did I learn English? That's the title for this podcast or a video. And I wrote down some notes on my laptop. I have some notes, some key points to talk about in this video written down on my laptop. So not to miss any point, I'll try to go through them in order. So let's just chill, and I'll grab a popcorn. I want to make this video very long because I don't like the 4-minute, 5-minute type of videos that are quick edited. It might be good, like, if you need to get something out of the video, just watch it and hop on to the next video, or just do it whatever you got to do. But this video, it'll be just to get to know each other more. It'll be more of a podcast type of video. We're not in a rush. You can just watch the video for like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, go do something else if you want to. If you're in a hurry, or if you watch other videos, come back to this video, and it'll be just more of us getting to know each other. Because apparently nowadays people have choice fatigue. Is a new thing apparently. They're tired of choosing videos to watch, and they just want to watch something that is. Now they would prefer if they have less choices to make, and especially people are watching YouTube on their TVs or their iPad, and they just want to eat something and just watch someone talk. So yeah, that's the point of this video. It might be 10 minutes, it might be 20 minutes, but I think it'll be 10, 15, somewhere along the line. We'll see how it goes. We're not gonna rush it. My first point in this video is, since when did I not know English? Because I have to not know it for me to learn it, right? So that would be the first point of the video. Since you said you were born and raised in Somalia, when did you start to learn? Or since when did you not know English? Well, that'll be the first point. And just to give you the short form answer before I get into the long form, before I break it down and talk about it more. I did not know a single word of English since I was the age of 12 years old. a single word. I probably only know. This is gonna sound funny, but the only word I knew that was English since or before I was 12 years old was the V word for the female. The V word. I'm not gonna go into it. The female V word. So if you know what that is, you probably know what that is. So we're just gonna leave it there. And I remember my brothers and me trying out when we're in Somalia before they went to Kenya, because they went to Kenya before me, and I was in Somalia with them. We're just having this conversation of like who knows more English, and who knows what word and what is and what that is. And they asked me, and I was like, I know how to say, see, I know how to say, that, see, in English. And they were like, oh, how do you say it? And they were like, oh my God. It's such a funny memory. But yes, that was my first word that I know in English. Don't ask how. I don't even remember how I got to know it. I think it's probably in school. I don't know what grade I was in Somalia at that time. When that was happening, by the way, I was like 8 years old. So that was before I moved to Kenya. I moved to Kenya when I was 12 years old. Hence, I started to learn more about English. And that was before all the social media. That was before all the telephones and the technology and all of that stuff. And you just hear things outside of school, and you just hear it from outside and all that stuff. So that was my first word that I've learned. It was funny. We just laughed at it, and then my brothers were like, "Is that even real? How do you know it?" I forgot the story because my brother told me after I came to Kenya a few years after, and he just reminded me that story, and it just stuck with me since. But yeah, that was the first word. Just to get back into the topic, I did not know a single word of English before the age of, apart from the V word, a single word of English before the age of 12 years old. And in Somalia, everything we consume, everything we watch was either in Arabic or had an Arabic subtitle. Like we had, if you grew up in Somalia, you probably know NBC2, NBC3, NBC Action, NBC8, or NBC Max. It was either one of those channels. But at the time, I was 8 year old, 7 year old growing up. I wasn't into more of a NBC2, which is like an English channel, like a English movies that had an Arabic subtitle. I wasn't into movies and all of that stuff because I was a kid. I was more into cartoons, which was NBC3, and that was completely 100% Arabic channel. So we used to just watch that. Even though the American shows like Power Rangers, they used to translate it to Arabic and upload it on NBC3. So yeah, I was more of an NBC3 kind of guy, and my other brothers too. Apart from one of our older brothers who was 13 at the time, was kind of like in his early teenage years, that was into NBC2 and just wanted to watch movies. But long story short, everything I consumed was Arabic or either Somali back in the day, especially growing up in Somalia. And it's fair to say my Arabic was at the peak at that time. My Arabic and Somali were literally side by side. I even knew more Arabic words, things in Arabic that I wouldn't know in Somali. As in like, like in terms of like words, how, because I was consuming so much Arabic to the point my Arabic and Somali were on the same level. That makes any sense. But yes, so what happened next was my brothers moved out. They they went to my dad's side of the family. My mom and dad are separated. They went to my Abba's side in Kenya. They moved to Kenya. So now it was just me and my little sister and my mom living in Somalia. They left when I was like 10 years old. I was 2 years behind them, I think 3 years behind them. So they left when I was 10 or 9. They went to Kenya. So I was just left with my little sister and my brother. No, my little sister and my mom. Just more of just watching NBC3 during the weekend. There's no exposure to English and all of that stuff until very recent when I was 11. Then I started watching NBC6 that had WWE Raw and SmackDown on every Wednesday. And I think they changed it up. I think it was every Monday and Friday or something like that. But yeah, then I got introduced to watching English shows for the first time But if you're a 10 and 11 and you're watching WWE, you don't really listen to the commentators for their English. You don't care about none of that stuff. You just want to see people getting body slammed into the ring and all of that stuff. So yeah, I was watching NBC6 solely for that reason. Then time time goes by, and when I was 12 years old, finally moved to Kenya to get a better education. It was better, if I'm gonna be honest. It was way better because I remember being in sixth grade, fourth grade to sixth grade. I was jumping 2 grades every year because my education was top notch. Apparently in Somalia, I was being in first place in the whole high school, in the whole school. But when I moved to Kenya, this is a funny story. I moved to Kenya. It was Donholm. If any Kenyans are watching this, where Donholm is, Phase 8. Uh, and my Edo, my mom's, no, my father's sister, my Edo, took me to this public school in Kenya, which is Donholm Primary School, and to take tests to evaluate where my education was, and so I can study, based on how good I performed the test. If it was really good, maybe I could start with class 7, class 8, class 6. So I did the test. I think it was the English and math. It was English and math. And my test was so bad that it literally kicked me out of the school. They were like, this kid, he didn't get one question out of a flipping 100 questions. So this kid is so bad, you have to take him somewhere else. Take him to private school. We can't accept him. So let alone English. I think English was 0 at the time. So yeah. So she took me to Abu Hanifa. That's a Somali private school in Donholm at the time, and that was like after a few months because I was taking the Duxi right after that. Because they were like, just go to Duxi for a bit, and we can take you to primary school, to some Somali to school, we'll find some other school. For now, go to Duxi. So I went to Duxi. I was in Bakara, and the Ma'alim went back to Somalia. And the second day after my Ma'alim went back to Somalia, when I was taking my Edo took me to this private school in my private school, a Somali private school named Abu Hanifa. If anybody from Abu Hanifa is watching this video, please comment down, because I think I've seen a comment on one of my videos. Someone saying we used to go in the same Abu Hanifa school in Donholm. So yeah, anyways, if you're from Abu Hanifa, shout out to you. It's been fun, the best part of my life. It was actually very fun because it's a Somali private school. It's just a bunch of Somalis. But anyways, I was taken to this Abu Hanifa primary school. Then that's where I started to see other Somalis in Kenya, because I think I was in Kenya for a year before I went to that school, to that private Somali private school. So I was in Kenya. I went to that school. Then I started to learn English through books. It was the same in Somalia. It wasn't really productive. It wasn't producing any results. So I was studying English in Kenya with my other curriculum, science and all of that stuff. Social studies, science, Kiswahili, which I didn't like. I did not like Swahili at all. So I'm sorry. I'm losing my train thought. I'm losing my train thought. That's why I like to have somebody else in the podcast to just go back and forth and put me back on topic. But anyways, so it was at the same time. It was that same time when I was in Kenya that I kind of got introduced to technology. It's not like I'm saying I didn't know what technology was before, but I had more free time with my cousins. My cousin that was from Canada, his iPad, and my brother's laptops. I was more introduced to the internet world, which I didn't really had in Somalia, especially at a very young age, in early 2010s. So I was just watching a bunch of YouTube videos, starting off with WWE. You're just trying to find something that you're familiar with. So I started off with watching WWE, and I just went there. I just went from there. Just got introduced to different channels. And when you're a kid, you're interested in different things. Especially coming from Somalia, I was interested in FIFA and all that stuff. So I found this YouTuber called KSI and so many other YouTubers at the time. PewDiePie, which was very, 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 very late down the story, but I just kept watching YouTube videos after YouTube video, and I was 13 years old. It wasn't the same as Somalia. You can't go out, and I could go out, but it wasn't like Somalia. It wasn't a Somali country. I couldn't go out and just see a bunch of Somali kids everywhere. So it was just Kenyan kids, and I didn't know no Swahili, no English, nothing. So I just kind of had one option to just stay home and just watch a bunch of YouTube videos. And that actually was before I even went to this uni. The whole year that I had before I went to the private uni, I was just busy watching YouTube videos after YouTube videos after YouTube videos. Um, that's literally all I have to wake up, eat something, just watch a bunch of YouTube videos. Um, and that was before I went to Duxie as well. I was literally had 6 months to 7 months. I was doing nothing in Kenya. And I was just enjoying kind of ease into Kenya life. I was just watching a bunch of YouTube videos. Wake up. I was 11 at the time. I had no responsibilities. I was new to the country. So yeah, I think that kind of opened up my whole worldview of the internet and YouTube, and just seeing YouTubers make videos, and discovering YouTube, big YouTubers at the time like KSI, and just a bunch of FIFA YouTubers. And I was really interested in FIFA. So, yeah, that was like, I feel like my introduction to watching English content. And later on, after 1 year, I went to this private uni, private school, private primary school, and I was learning English, through textbook, which doesn't really help. I don't know why they still do that. It might help with grammars and stuff, but it doesn't really help with people that come from third world countries like me, for example, that want to speak. So let's just skip a year or 2 years after. I was 13, 14, in middle school now. I could understand English perfectly. I could literally understand everything, just watching YouTube videos, understand everything. And that's, I feel like, the second phase of my English learning journey. Because if you ever learned a new language, you know there's two phases into learning new language: the understanding part and the communicating part. It's like an input and an output. So I spent 3 years just inputting a lot of content that was English, whether it was entertainment or educational. Well, entertainment most of the time. So after the year, I was like, after 13, 14, almost 15, I could understand English perfectly, but I couldn't get the words out. And I'm pretty sure people can relate to this, especially people that are learning new languages. If it's either English or any other language, you can relate to this. If you're learning a language, you will understand it first. That's the first phase. And probably the hardest part is speaking and trying to get words out of your mouth. That's probably the hardest phase of learning any language. So now I was on my output phase. I was done with the input. Now it was more of an output. This, I feel like, was the most challenging phase of me learning English, because learning English, like understanding English, was kind of came to me passively. I didn't even know it was happening at the time. I was just keep consuming content. It was just passive. I was just hearing so many. I was just watching so much English content that I didn't even process. I was learning. I was having a direct input of the language and the content that was in English. So I wasn't thinking about that at the time. But when it came to communicating and having an output, then that's when I noticed. I was like, oh, wait, hold on a second. I can understand English, but I can't speak it. Well, what's happening? Then it kind of hit me. I was like, whoa, wait a second. I can perfectly understand everything, but I can't get a single word out. I didn't know what was going on, but I had kind of like a realization. I was like, damn, okay, this is a big, this is a trouble. This is kind of, it feels a bit weird, but I noticed that was happening. So, and I feel like a lot of people struggle with that, especially if they live in a country where um, English is not really spoken. There's no outlet. If that makes any sense, like that you can understand it. You could be in anywhere in the world and you can consume content in English, but when it comes to like speaking out, there isn't anybody to talk to, especially if you're in Somalia. So the advantage that I had in Kenya was the national language in the country is Kiswahili or Swahili, which I didn't like at the time because of my teacher, bad teaching and all of that stuff. But I used to speak in English instead of Swahili in that country. So I used to speak more. I used to communicate more in English than Kiswahili, especially in with the teachers and with other people. If you want to go out and play football with the Kenyans, because they can fluently speak and understand English. That's the second language in Kenya. So the fact that I didn't like speaking Swahili, but I didn't like the language, made it easy for me to just communicate in English. And secondly, it was down the line when I was 16, 17, early 16, I started kind of like making YouTube videos because I just had so much time at home after, you know how middle school is, and before you go to high school, you just have a lot of time. So I just had a lot of time after school. So I started just making YouTube videos, and I feel like hands down is the single thing. If I could attribute one thing, one aspect of to me being able to speak, would be making videos on YouTube. I feel like that helped me a lot, so much, especially when I was like 14, 15, trying to record clips off my phone onto the screen, trying to show my FIFA Ultimate Team, trying to show the game or the goal that I scored, and trying to take clips of it. Especially watching YouTubers that were making FIFA videos. But yeah, anyways, I feel like helping speaking English, making YouTube videos helped me. I would say it helped me like 70%, because it felt like communicating with people. I felt like talking to people, even though I wasn't there with anybody. But the important part was just getting in the words out, just talking, which making YouTube videos actually helped, and being in Kenya helped. If I was in Somalia, I don't think I would. I would be able to understand, but I don't think I would be able to speak. Just like so many Somalis in Somalia, I literally have it in my comments in every video, being like, I can understand, but I can't speak it. Can you like make videos and try to like uh just see my point of view of how I learned English? But yeah, basically, yeah, that was kind of. I feel like I'm having an ADHD because I keep going off topic. But anyways, I came back to Somalia when I was 16 after middle school, uh, and I was starting high school at the time. So I went back to Somalia, and when I was in Somalia, I kept making YouTube videos. Even if you go back to my channel now, 4 years ago, you will see vlogs of me going to high school in Somalia, me being in my room just like I am now in my room, just making videos about Somalia or just random topics at the time, but continuing to make videos actually helped me to still be able to talk and communicate in English. Because I feel like once I came back from Kenya, I had like 4 years. I stayed there for like 4 years before I came to Turkey. If I didn't speak any English at that time, I would probably go back or just lose it, not know it. Just the same way I kind of start to lose my Arabic, forget my Arabic. So yeah, I think the same thing would happen to me with English. But the main reason it all came down to YouTube. Is either watching YouTube videos or making YouTube videos, which was the two sources that you need, the two main input and output sources that I had, which you really need, especially if you're learning new languages. You need an input source and output source, or with a specific a specific ratio, with a very specific ratio. For if you're learning a new language, your input should be 30%, and your output should be 70%. So 3-7 or 7-3, depending on which one comes first. So I spend a lot more time inputting than outputting, but in terms of like, consuming content or making content. So that's what it came down to me learning English. Just a lot of watching YouTube videos and a lot of making YouTube videos. So yeah, I hope I could clarify a lot in this video. So it was very niche down. It was a very niche down podcast. So if you like these type of videos, please let me know. This is a kind of experiment that I want to do on the channel. And let's be honest, I also need a watch time to get back to the monetization. But this type of videos, I feel like it's more genuine. I can make a lot more videos like these type of videos, just talking about a certain topic. If you want me to dive deep into more aspects about my life, let me know in the comment section down below, or just talk about my experiences in Somalia, or my experiences in Kenya or Turkey. If you want different aspects of my life, if you want to get to know me more, just let me know in the comment section down below. And also, it's not about me. It's not all about me. If you want me to have other guests, I can have them on. We can have a proper podcast and we talk about specific topics. But yeah, this is a very chill video that I decided to record today. As you can see about how I am laid with my bad posture, but that's besides the point. If you want more topics, please comment down and give me topics to talk about in podcasts, and I'll have guests on. If it's like a topic that doesn't direct it towards me, like this topic, for example, if it's like a general topic, I'll have a guest on. I'll give them a microphone. I might have 2 camera setups. Yeah, and we'll see how this works. And if there's more demand for it, I will do more videos, of course. But yeah, we just hit the 30-minute mark. I don't know if the video being uploaded to YouTube will be 30 minutes. I feel like it will be a more 20 something minutes. I don't want to cut as much. But yeah, anyways, that will be the end of the video. If you want me to make more videos, I said that before, leave a like, subscribe, please. If you're new to the channel, if you made it to this part of the video, comment Somalia, because we have the Somali flag in the background. Comment Somalia in the comment if you made it to this part of the video, and I'll follow you on Instagram. We'll be friends. If you watched almost 30-minute long video of me, I want to know. Yeah, that's about it. Masalam, guys. See you tomorrow, because tomorrow is Sunday, and I'm doing this 1 hour live Sunday live streams every week. So yeah, see you tomorrow. Masalama. Bye.